first quarter.
Thank you, Mark. We started off the year squarely focused on executing our commercial strategy and optimizing our aesthetics infrastructure to support growth at scale. Our heads-down mentality paid off as we exceeded our internal expectations for both RHA and HintMD, reporting $11.6 million in total sales and exiting the first quarter with a run rate of over $400 million in processing volume. We ended the quarter with over 1,500 accounts across RHA and HintMD, which is a substantial increase from the approximately 1,000 accounts we reported at year-end 2020. These results were driven largely by our efforts to forge strong inroads with key elite practices and partners. More and more elite practices are embracing the opportunity to provide their clients with added value through innovation, elevated outcomes, and superior service. We're very encouraged by the early credibility we are establishing with the Revance Aesthetics brand through the launch of RHA and HintMD. Our strong results for the quarter were also supported by a ramp-up of injector education programs through Revance U. With increased vaccinations across the country, we were able to conduct more face-to-face trainings while also leveraging our robust virtual training platform. In fact, we began conducting training inside doctors' offices for the first time last month and attended our first in-person medical conference, the Aesthetic Meeting, in Miami. These trends all point to the recovery of the aesthetics industry, which we believe will serve as a tailwind to our commercial story in the months ahead. During the quarter, we also prioritized consumer activation in multiple ways. We created and distributed a suite of content to be used by practices and across their social media, website, and CRM platforms. We also continued our Flawless in Motion consumer initiative through and targeted digital campaign across channels with the goal of driving more clients to practices that carry the RHA collection. Turning to HintMD, we were very pleased to see the processing volume run rate more than double in the quarter. This was largely due to the increased account penetration, complemented by a rise in cosmetic and aesthetic procedures as the broader economy opened up. The adoption rate for HintMD benefited from the cross-selling opportunities generated by our sales team. Many practices that adopted RHA are recognizing HintMD as a complementary aesthetic service that not only optimizes payment solutions, but also has the potential to increase practice economics with future features such as subscription services, patient wallet, white label loyalty, and data analytics. HintMD is the first and only aesthetics-focused fintech platform. And unlike current loyalty and promotional programs offered in the aesthetics market today, HintMD has the potential to build customer loyalty with the practice as opposed to a specific brand. For these reasons, practices are leaning in. Our near-term focus is to further increase the number of accounts on the platform and launch the next release of HintMD. We're in the beta phase of this release and are on track for launch in the coming months. We believe the integration of PayFac will unlock tremendous value for both Revance and our customers alike. As a payment facilitator, we will be able to participate in more of the credit card processing value chain, thereby increasing our margins on the transactions processed over time. Further, since PayFac sits right at the transaction level, we will be able to leverage the source data to build new features and functionalities that enhance practice economics and customer loyalty. We also strengthened our commercial infrastructure during the quarter so that it can support our growth at scale. We are near the final stages of building out our Nashville corporate headquarters and experience center, which will serve as a key training and education hub for employees, practices, and partners. Our experience center will be the first of its kind in the industry, and we're excited to showcase our differentiated approach to enhancing learning and expanding access to our brand and product portfolio. In April, we successfully and safely hosted our second live national sales meeting. The meeting included in-person training for our sales force, further equipping our team with the tools and resources needed to continue to grow the aesthetics franchise. Overall, a very active first quarter on the commercial end as we continue to focus on execution. Now I'll turn the call over to Mark to discuss our therapeutics franchise. Mark?
Thanks, Dustin. We're pleased to see our therapeutic opportunity in muscle movement disorders continue to advance this quarter. In February, we reported positive results from our Juniper phase 2 trial of daxibotulinumtoxinA for injection for the treatment of adult upper limb spasticity. The study provided us with the necessary data to support our dosing strategy for a phase 3 program. It also showed the consistent 24-week duration profile of daxibotulinumtoxinA for injection as seen across our cervical dystonia clinical program and our aesthetic clinical trials. With the completion of our phase 3 open-label safety study in cervical dystonia, an AULS end of phase 2 meeting planned for the second half of this year, the commercial path for our therapeutics franchise is beginning to take shape. For our cervical dystonia program, which is the furthest along in development, we plan to complete our regulatory filing with the FDA in 2022 and anticipate approval in 2023. There is meaningful value to be unlocked in the muscle movement disorders category. The global market for cervical dystonia and spasticity, which includes upper and lower limb spasticity, is currently valued at over $1 billion and is projected to exceed $1.5 billion by 2025. Importantly, nearly 80% of that opportunity resides within the United States, representing a significant opportunity for Revance. We're excited about the prospects of leading this market with our next generation neuromodulator, given the drug's safety and efficacy in providing symptom relief and its unique duration profile that has the ability to cut the number of required treatments by half. In short, daxibotulinumtoxinA has the potential to not only provide a better treatment to patients, but also bring substantial pharmacoeconomic benefits to the healthcare system. Based on our progress, we are beginning to focus on our go-to-market strategy while strengthening our internal infrastructure to support our transition from clinical stage to commercial in therapeutics. To that end, we have been focused on building out our therapeutics leadership team and have made several key hires and promotions, including our newest appointment, Angela Willis, who will serve as our Vice President of Market Access. Angela has more than 20 years of experience in biopharma market access and pricing strategy across multiple therapeutic areas, including neurology and migraine. We are excited about the strong team we have in place, which will support our growth in therapeutics in the years ahead. Before I turn the call over to Toby, I would like to briefly touch on the recent advancements in our partnerships. In April, we announced that Shanghai Fosun Pharmaceutical Industrial Company enrolled and injected their first patients in their phase 3 trials of daxibotulinumtoxinA for glabellar lines and cervical dystonia in China. China is the second largest neuromodulator market in the world, and we are excited about our potential to establish a foothold in this attractive market through a great partner like Fosun. Finally, we are pleased that our biosimilar collaboration with Viatris is also progressing nicely. We recently submitted the briefing package for our biosimilar to Botox to the FDA for agreement on a phase 3 program. This is an encouraging development in our ability to participate in the short-acting neuromodulator category